Today I am going to be doing my first book video on this channel, and I'm going to be talking about what I read in March and what I'm going to be reading in April, or what I hope I'm going to be able to get to in April. There are no breaks in April, so it's like a straight month of school, so I don't know, just because of homework and school, if I'm going to actually have time to read all these books that I'm going to talk about. But here we go. So the first book that I read this month was Outlander by Diana Gabaldon, and I really enjoyed it. I would give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. The only reason I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5 instead of a 5 out of 5 is because in some parts it lagged. And I really did enjoy the detail, but sometimes it was just too much, and I just wanted to get on with the story. It was a very long book. And I don't actually have the physical copy to show you because I did borrow it from my local library, but you can search up Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. It's a blue cover. You can find it in the literature and fiction section at your bookstore under G authors, you know. So the second book that I read, I'm going to give a 5 out of 5 stars, or 10 out of 10, or 100%, whatever you want to say. And that book has to be A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. I enjoyed this book to no end. This book was perfect. I got so into it. I finished it, and I read it in probably a week. This is a big book to read in a week. I enjoyed this to no end. I read this over March break, or I finished it over March break, and it really says on the back here, it says grabs hold and won't let go. It's brilliant. It's so true. I understand why so many people are taken with the storyline and with the television show, and I haven't seen the television show, so it's all just new stuff. And then I did go and I watched the first few episodes of the show, and I'm taken with that too, but I don't want to spoil the series for me. And I like how I see the characters in my head besides the television show, because once you see it like a adaptation, and then you kind of get like then you start to have ideas in your head of what they look like, but you wanted to hold on to what you saw the first time you read it. And I'm really excited to read A Clash of Kings. Just waiting. The next book that I read is a YA novel. I'm going to have to give this book a 2.5 stars. I really didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would, and that book is Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. And Alexandra Bracken has written the Darkest Minds trilogy, which I actually have not read. Maybe I should have read that before reading this, just because maybe then, apparently this one's written differently than her others. Because I just really didn't enjoy the writing in this book, and I flew through this book. I read this book in 2 days, and I think that probably has to do with the fact that I had just come out of reading 2 adult books, and honestly the best part about this book is the cover. The cover is gorgeous. I did get it in hardcover. This is a first edition because it just came out in January, and that's what the cover looks like. It's like embossed with silver and like a tree. It's really, 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 really pretty. This book is a time travel book, and I obviously had read Outlander, so I had just come out of reading time travel, and so many booktubers were raving about this, but I just think that it didn't live up to the hype for me. But if you're really interested in time travel and you're interested in history, maybe you can give it a go if you don't want to spend lots of time on an adult historical fiction book. Yes, 2 out of 5 stars, nothing too special. This is a duology, so there is a second book coming out called Wayfarer. I will probably read it, even though I didn't particularly enjoy where this book left off. Now I have to know what happens to the characters, as that always happens. You have to know what happens to the characters. You can't drop a series. But I am happy it's only a duology. We can just say that. So the book that I read after Passenger, I wanted a buffer between Passenger and going back into the Outlander universe with Dragonfly and Amber, which is the book that I'm currently reading. So I picked up something that I knew that I would thoroughly enjoy, and that is the novella bind-up for the Selection series, Happily Ever After. I really enjoyed this. I would probably have to say my favorite novella in the whole, all of them. I really enjoyed The Queen. I really liked knowing about her life and why she picked Clarkson, because King Clarkson was always kind of like a bad character. He wasn't portrayed in the best light, but then Queen Amberly was just an amazing character, and like you wanted her to be your mom, and I just loved her. She was so lovely. And this book is illustrated. Like there are pictures. I'll get a picture of the picture. There's one of the pictures. That's Clarkson and Amberly. Oops. That's one of the pictures. That's Clarkson and Amberly. I really enjoyed this. I would suggest reading this if you really enjoy the Selection series. I haven't read The Heir yet. I do own it. That would probably have to be on my TBR, but I kind of want to read The Elite and The One before I jump into The Heir, just because I forgot kind of some of the things that had happened, and I want to get back in the Selection world. But this is something great if you have Selection withdrawal from your original characters with America and Naxon and all of their loved ones. This book was really great. I thoroughly enjoyed this, and one of my favorite things, one of the biggest draws to buy this book for me, had to be the map. I loved being able to visualize where all the contestants came from, every one of their provinces. If I lived in Ilea, I would be living in Labrador. Just in case you wanted to know. I really enjoyed this. You know what? 5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed this. I really did enjoy it. Okay, so those are all the books that I read in March. Now I'm going to get on with what I'm currently reading. I started this a week ago, so I guess that's still part of March. This is the book that's going to carry me over from March to April, and that book is Dragonfly and Amber, again by Diana Gabaldon. I am 211 pages in on chapter 15, I believe. On chapter 15. Shows you right there. I really do enjoy the Outlander series. This one takes place in France, which I like a lot better than Scotland. I'm such a France junkie. I love books that take place in France, especially because this has to do with the French court and Versailles, and I've been to Versailles, so I can visualize what's going on, and they're in Paris, and I really do like it. And I like how they actually have like a stable home, and they're not on the run anymore, because that's what Outlander felt like. They just felt like they couldn't be like stable. So I really did enjoy it. I'm really enjoying this so far, and hopefully this will be in my April wrap-up, because hopefully I'll finish it in April. It is long. It is 743 pages, so yeah, that's bigger than Game of Thrones. So anyway, after I finish Dragonfly and Amber, I want to read The Boy in the Striped Pajamas by John Boyne. I think that's how you pronounce it. I think that this will be a very quick read. The font is very large. The subject matter, I do understand, is very intense, but I feel like I need something in between Dragonfly and Amber and the next book that I'm going to be talking about. So I'm really excited to read this. Sorry, I got caught up reading the back of the book. I wouldn't say I'm excited, but I'm highly interested to read this book. Then after The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, I am going to be reading highly anticipated A Clash of Kings by George R.R. Martin. This is the second book in the Game of Thrones series, and I am very excited to get into this. It is, I'll tell you the page count. It is without the appendix. Without the glossary of characters, it is 728 pages, so it is shorter than Dragonfly and Amber, but I have a feeling these pages are just going to fly by. I do hear that book 2 isn't people's necessarily their favorite book in A Song of Ice and Fire, but book second books aren't normally people's favorites because they feel like bridge books. That is how I feel about A Chamber of Secrets and, oh my god, New Moon. I'm not going to go into a rant on New Moon, but that's how most people feel about second books. But I'm going to enjoy it nonetheless because we get to see from some different characters' perspective than we did in the first book. And I think Theon Greyjoy, we get to see his perspective, I believe. And I'm excited to jump back into this series because it's highly anticipated. And then after this, I'll read A Storm of Swords. So yes. And then I guess it would be the fourth. If I can get to it, I am going to be reading The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh, I believe is how you pronounce her name. This, I believe, is a retelling of Arabian Nights. I'm very excited to read this. And again, this one is a YA novel. So again, the print is pretty large. There are just under 400 pages, so this will go pretty quick for me. Again, the cover is really pretty. Like, look how pretty that is. Like, look at the little I don't know what these are called, like the end pages. They're really, there's a girl there and she's really pretty. I am very excited for this book, The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh. So yes, that is my March wrap-up and my April TBR. I hope you enjoyed, and I want to know what you guys are going to be reading this month. Tell me down below in the comments, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because I am planning on making more videos. I want to do some makeup tutorials, and again, more book reviews and things like that. And I'm just overall really excited to share my love of reading and again, my love of makeup because those videos will be coming. So thank you for watching and goodbye everyone.